Hi guys, Astra here. And before I even get into the material, I'm just excited because there seem to be a lot of orbs flying around me tonight. And there's just something about the lighting where I am creating this Facebook Live, um, and the way the lighting's working with the camera, that I can see the orbs kind of circling me and shooting across the camera. So that might be exciting for you as well, if it keeps happening. Yes, and come to think of it, I did have some sort of spirit guide activity earlier and messages and from them and all that kind of thing. So must be in the air, literally and figuratively, and interdimensionally. So I've been thinking about this a lot, because I've been in a really creative zone where I keep getting creative downloads about my business and different offerings, that I want to either share soon or that I'm going to share eventually. And, so I've been like taking notes and trying to keep track of everything because it's been coming in so fast. And but the things that have been coming in for me to share on the sooner side, I've been noticing that what's been happening a lot is I'll receive the creative download, I'll write out the notes, and I'll even receive like a divine marketing schedule, and or mini launch schedule, or however we want to look at it. And I get this, I'll maybe schedule it in onto my online calendar, and with different days, and different things happening, different events, marketing different parts of whatever. See, I'm not getting specific here, but and then I'll notice this sort of like the days come and go, and I don't do the thing. And so it's been this pattern of creating behind the scenes, but feeling kind of heavy and weighted down when it comes to something just floated down. Heavy and weighted down when it comes to the action part. So that the inner creation part is running very smoothly. But then the block comes when, the next step is to take action and get it out there. And so I've been feeling into that a lot, like why, and it's been a very repetitive pattern. And also I've been trying to be very self-forgiving, because I know each of us has a unique inner rhythm, and our energy ebbs and flows like the tides, and then the moon can have something to do with it. And our molecules are always changing and rearranging, and, making sure you get enough sleep and drinking enough water and getting enough physical activity, and all of these things, come into play and really need to be balanced as well. However, it's been so much of a pattern where the me taking decisive divine action out into the world, out sharing with my tribe, has been feeling weighted down and heavy. That's been enough of a pattern that I really wanted to look into it so I could start kind of clearing that, if that's the right thing to do right now. And so the information, the inner wisdom I divined is, without just getting into really specifics, it's just basically fear, and there are many different reasons for the type of fear that spiritual leader people allow to get in our way when it comes to sharing our truth with the world and putting our gifts out there. So that's enough for not only a whole nother Facebook Live, but a whole program, right? So, but and it made me, so realizing that it was fear, it made me remember that phrase, and I've heard it from a lot of different sources and teachers, which is feel the fear and do it anyway. And I totally get it, and I totally understand where people are coming from when they teach that. And it's something that I've even done before, and I think, though, I've gotten to this point on what I've been calling the peace leg of my empowerment journey. If you don't know me yet, I'll explain what empowerment is as it was channeled through me several years back. So empowerment, it's the 5 levels or 5 aspects on 5 levels of empowerment. So it's happiness, vitality, abundance, peace, and freedom on the level of soul, energy, emotions, mind, and body. And it actually forms a grid. So the levels are up here, the aspects are here, and they can meet up on squares on the grid, and you can find out where you're needing, balance or clearing or whatever on it's called the shamanic empowerment grid. And again, this is a healing tool that was channeled through me. I don't even know how, like 3 years back or something like that. And so I'd gone through and sort of cleared for my entire empowerment journey. I've cleared all of the squares on the grid up until it came to my aspect of peace. And of course, peace starts from within, as everything does. When you're on your empowerment journey, empowerment comes from within. So I was not experiencing inner peace, and I got happiness, vitality, and abundance down pretty well, on all the levels, or I know how to navigate those squares on the grid. But so when it came to peace, I knew I really needed to do a deep dive into that and start to really give myself permission to be at peace and to allow myself not to get hyper stressed out anymore, and to understand that peace is my new reality, and constant stress and trauma and panic is an old paradigm. It was never my truth. It was never my true reality, but it was a paradigm I was living in simply because that's what I had learned to do, since childhood. And so on this peace leg of my journey, I start to hear and react to things differently. So when I see that phrase, feel the fear and do it anyway, I start to think, why? Why, why do we have to start or pursue an activity when we're in a state of fear? That actually doesn't feel like a good idea for me, for someone who has created a new baseline of inner peace in her life. And experiencing inner peace doesn't mean I never experience fear. That's, as I was saying, I know that fear has been a challenge for me and blocking me from moving forward and getting my stuff out there, my fairy marketing, my effervescent bubbles of sharing my offerings with the world. So I thought, okay, if I want inner peace, I don't want to feel the fear and then do something anyway. What do I want to do instead then, in order to keep the peace? Keep the peace. So I was downloaded this little list that I'm going to read, and this is what I do, and this is what I've started to do in place of feel the fear and do it anyway. Feel the fear, process the fear. So get in touch with it. What is the main core reason why it's there? Acknowledge it, because anytime we have a block, what it really is it's waiting to deliver a message to us that will help in our expansion and on our empowerment journeys. So feel the fear, connect with the fear, ask what it's there for. So as you're you're getting in touch with it and receiving its information, you're processing it. You're processing the fear. And so once that feels lighter, like you could feel the effervescent bubbles have bubbled up to the surface and popped out into the universe, and there's a lighter, more clear feeling where the fear was stuck, then create a good feeling for yourself. Like for me, the good feeling that I've been using is we have a new, very young little kitten. His name is Bella, and he's a little black kitten. And he's kind of Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde. You know, sometimes you approach him and he's like ultra affectionate, cuddly, like you're the mama cat, and he's doing all the things that a baby would do, you know, kneading on you and cuddling and wanting his belly rubbed and all the good little kitten things. You know, and so I've been holding on to that feeling as opposed to his crazy ricochet rabbit, you know, running around, jumping at your leg and thinking your hand is a monster and trying to kill it. So, which is really cute, but that's not the good feeling that I want to create for after I process my fear. But so I've been creating the feeling of when Bella is cuddling and how soft his fur is and that vibration of his loud purr, and there's nothing like a kitten purring, vibrating, cuddling, you know, laying on you, rubbing his head on your shoulder and wanting you to like scratch his neck and his ears, and like that's just the warmest, so cozy, warm, gentle, beautiful, loving feeling. And so that's the good feeling that I've been creating for myself. And then the next, so feel the fear, process the fear, create a good feeling, Bella the kitten, and then consciously choose to feel that feeling and be in that feeling. And while so doing, then do that thing that you were going to do while you were feeling the fear. If that makes sense. So, I mean, it's written on paper. It sounds like a long process. It's really not that long. It takes a couple minutes, really. You know, if you're realizing that you have a fear block and acknowledging that and connecting with it, giving it your attention. You know, it wants acknowledgement. It wants to deliver its message to you. What is this thing that needs clearing? And then creating, and then once the fear is processed through and released, creating that good feeling, and then consciously choosing to feel it and be in that feeling. And then while you're in that feeling, then go forth and perform the activity. Do that thing that you were going to do anyway while you were feeling the fear. Okay, so I hope that is helpful and supportive for you. And if you try this, I think you'll find that it just feels a lot better overall and definitely contributes to your inner peace. Okay, so let me know how it goes for you. And thank you. Hi, Leo. And hello to everyone watching now and in the future. Bye.